Sometimes a single photo says more than an entire book. These are traces of vanished ecosystems and a reminder of how easily a species can be lost. In this video, you'll see 7 final photos of animals that no longer exist. First animal on our list, the Bubal Hartebeest, a North African antelope that vanished in the early 20th century. Its range ran north of the Sahara, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and field populations are generally considered gone by about 1925. This case matters not for rarity alone, but because a living individual was photographed and precisely dated. The look is distinctive: sandy coat, long narrow face, and horns that form a U shape in front view. Scale check: shoulder height about 47 to 55 inches, head to body length 63 to 95 inches, weight roughly 220 to 440 pounds. London Zoo, 1895. This very photo. It shows a female kept from October 4th, 1883 to April 27th, 1897, photographed by Louis Medland on a glass plate. The shot is often treated as the only verified photograph of a living bubal. The elongated muzzle and U-shaped horns make the identification secure. Why did it disappear? In the 19th century Maghreb, unregulated hunting and military activity drove numbers down. Earlier travelers still reported herds in the tens to low hundreds. After the French conquest of Algeria, counts collapsed, and by 1925 the subspecies was recorded extinct, a textbook example of human pressure outpacing natural limits. So this isn't just an archive piece. A single, well-documented frame ties museum tags and field notes to a living animal, preserving the morphology of a lost lineage and giving viewers a rare, concrete look at something they can no longer encounter. Let's move on. This next creature will definitely surprise you. The laughing owl, or Celoglaw albifacis, was a one-of-a-kind bird found only in New Zealand. It got its name from its haunting call, an eerie sound that resembled sinister human laughter, unsettling even seasoned naturalists. Unlike most owls, it hunted at dusk and even during full daylight. It struck swiftly from the ground with minimal flight. Its diet included lizards, large insects, and flightless birds like kiwis. Its face looked perpetually startled due to poorly developed supraorbital ridges. One of the last known photos was taken around 1909 at Raincliffe Station in New Zealand. It's a rare visual record, capturing a living bird just before the species vanished. According to museum records, the laughing owl measured about 15 inches in length, had a wingspan up to 24 inches, and weighed up to 1.7 pounds. Its brownish-yellow feathers with white spots provided excellent camouflage in moss-covered forests. The collapse was rapid, driven by deforestation and the introduction of predators like rats, cats, and stoats. The last known specimen was found dead in 1914, yet reports of strange laughing cries continued into the 1930s. Some researchers believe isolated individuals may have survived longer in remote valleys of New Zealand's South Island. The photo of the next animal is truly one of a kind: the Tarpan. This extinct wild horse of the Eurasian steppes was genetically close to domestic breeds but displayed unique traits: mouse-dun coat, dark dorsal stripe, short ears, and compact build. Males stood about 51 to 53 inches at the withers, body length reached 6.5 feet, and average weight ranged from 550 to 660 pounds. Historically, its range extended from the Pontic-Caspian steppe into Eastern Europe. The stallion pictured was captured as a foal in 1866 on the Zagrodovsk steppe. He was kept at Novovorontsovka until 1880 and later transferred to the Moscow Zoo. The photo was taken in 1884, likely by photographer Scherer. It remains one of the only verified images of a living tarpan. The image has sparked scholarly debate. Some experts argue the horse's appearance, especially the long mane and conformation, does not match descriptions of fully wild tarpans. This led to theories of hybridization. Indeed, genetic analysis of Kherson region remains indicates signs of mixed ancestry. The population declined under direct human pressure. Steppe lands were converted to farmland. Tarpans were hunted as pests, and interbreeding with domestic herds accelerated. Wild individuals were eliminated by 1879, while captive animals labeled as tarpans survived until around 1909. But the 1884 photo remains a rare visual document of extinction, a frame that captures the final echoes of the steppe horse. Next on our list, the Carolina Parakeet. The only parrot native to the eastern United States, this bright parrot had a green back, a yellow head, and an orange face. Native flocks occupied river floodplain forests, nested in tree cavities, traveled in loud groups, and dispersed seeds. The species ranged from New York and Wisconsin south to Florida and west to eastern Colorado. For scale, body length measured 12 to 13 inches, wings spanned 21 to 23 inches, and females weighed about 3.5 ounces. Flocks sometimes reached about 300 birds, so their calls carried far across orchards and fields. In 1906, a photograph was taken. This very photo. The image shows a tame bird named Doodles, kept by Smithsonian scientist Paul Barch, who is often credited as the photographer. This is one of the few verified shots of a living individual. But why did they disappear? Bottomland forests were cleared rapidly, trapping was common, and orchard shooting was routine. The last confirmed wild bird was recorded in 1904 in Florida. The last captive bird, the male Incas, died at the Cincinnati Zoo on February 21, 1918. The species was declared extinct in 1939. That Doodles frame ties dates and maps to a real bird, brief yet definitive. The last photo of this animal is the oldest in this entire video, the quagga, a unique subspecies of zebra once found only in South Africa. What made it stand out was its partial striping, bold black and white stripes on the front half of its body, fading into a plain, horse-like brown rear. Quaggas roamed the dry plains and semi-deserts of the Cape Province. They lived in small herds and were hardy grazers, feeding on grasses and shrubs and surviving long periods without water. On average, they stood about 4.1 feet at the shoulder, measured up to 8 feet in body length, and weighed around 550 pounds. The famous photo was taken in 1870 at the London Zoo and is considered the only confirmed image of a living quagga. It shows a female brought from South Africa, and her appearance became the reference for all modern depictions of the species. The quagga was driven to extinction by overhunting and competition with livestock. The last known individual died in Amsterdam Zoo in 1883. For decades, it was thought to be a separate species, but later DNA testing confirmed it as a subspecies of the plain zebra. In the 1980s, a bold revival effort began, selectively breeding zebras with quagga-like traits. Today, South Africa is home to animals nearly indistinguishable from the original quagga. And perhaps, one day soon, the quagga will once again walk wild. The only marine animal in this video, the Japanese sea lion, once widespread along Japan's coasts, especially on Honshu, Hokkaido, and Takeshima. These pinnipeds were large and powerful. Males grew up to 8.2 feet long and weighed nearly 1,100 pounds. Females were smaller, around 5.2 feet and 330 pounds. Their coats were grayish-brown with pale muzzles and a thick, boxy head. Mature males had manes around the neck, which earned them the nickname sea lions. They were hunted for oil, hides, and even their whiskers, which were used as souvenirs. Some were even captured for circus performances. By the 1930s, their population had plummeted. The last verified sightings occurred in the 1950s, and the species was officially declared extinct in 1974. One of the final known photos of a living Japanese sea lion was taken on Takeshima Island in 1934, a rare historical image you're now seeing. Curiously, Japanese students in the 1920s wrote essays describing fear of huge sea monsters, likely referring to these animals. Skeletal remains were still occasionally found into the 1960s, though their authenticity remains debated. Some fishermen today still report mysterious pinnipeds in remote waters, fueling hope that a few survivors may remain undiscovered. The last animal in this video is the most astonishing, the thylacine. Also known as the Tasmanian tiger, it was a marsupial, more closely related to kangaroos than to wolves. It had stripes across its back and a jaw that could open up to an astonishing 80 to 90 degrees. Thylacines were nocturnal, solitary hunters that preyed on birds, rodents, and small marsupials. They roamed the forests and plains of Tasmania. Adult males weighed around 65 pounds, with body lengths reaching 4.3 feet, plus another 1.5 feet of tail. They had a distinctive, loping gait, and could stand upright on their hind legs. The thylacine had a unique way of vocalizing. It didn't bark or howl like dogs or wolves. Instead, it made soft clicks and harsh coughing-like sounds. What makes this case unique is that we don't just have a photo, we have actual video footage. Filmed in 1935 at Hobart Zoo, it shows the last known thylacine, nicknamed Benjamin. The footage captures him pacing in an enclosure and performing odd behaviors, including a remarkably wide jaw gape. Benjamin passed away in 1936, and the species was officially declared extinct in 1982. However, reports of sightings continued even into the 2020s. Scientists are still searching, and some companies are actively working on bringing the species back through genetic science.